in the past. Here's how he described the protesters.
There were mistakes on both sides. Police, and especially the unprepared army, made mistakes. And of course, we have people who were angry, and they had the right to be angry because they suffered deaths. There is an Islamic group with a military agenda, and they want their own system. And there were others, including people on drugs, people who were curious, and others who got excited by it. They were all just being used. So there are many different groups that have different interests in Libya. It is clear there are those who want to rule and become emirs or rulers themselves. This is high treason. And then there are our Arab brothers watching from their comfortable chairs, drinking coffee and helping us Libyans burn and destroy our country. We are the losers, not them.
Well, Rama is a Libyan activist. She joins us now on the line from the Libyan capital, Tripoli. Rama, thanks for speaking to Al Jazeera. First, let me get your reaction to what Saif al-Islam just said. He described the protesters as Islamists and druggies. What do you say to that?
I don't believe, anything he's been saying. And the druggies and savages are basically the people they've been paying for to protest pro-government. They were the people filling the streets, and you can tell smoking, doing drugs in the streets in front of us. I mean, calling us savages is very, it's the most violence we've ever seen. Most of our protesting start off peacefully until they hassle us, and then they become violent.
Well, Rama, do tell us your story. Tell us about the people that you've been protesting with. And also, if you could just tell us about the situation in Tripoli, because there have been clashes in the Libyan capital as well, in Green Square notably. Tell us about what happened there.
Yes, yesterday in the afternoon in the Green Square, there's been riots breaking off. We were informed that there are sniper shooters on the rooftops ready to shoot anybody who does any suspicious movements from the anti-government. Also yesterday in front of the main Tripoli courthouse, there was peaceful protesting going on, anti-government. My father has attended, and he went merely to the courthouse to make a claim that he's been running after for 3 years since he's been in this country. He's an American citizen and now has been detained by the police department. His name is Jibani, and we need help from the American embassy. We need anybody to help us out. We haven't heard anything from him since yesterday. That's the news so far. So
you don't know about the whereabouts of your father right now after those clashes yesterday in Green Square?
Correct. We don't know what's going on. We need help from anybody. He's an American citizen, so we need them to help us. Anybody right now. We need information from him.
Were there any people killed or injured in those clashes in Tripoli?
There's a lot of killings, there's a lot of fightings. We haven't left our home since then, but we've been hearing riots. I've been receiving eyewitness phone calls, and they've been telling me that the riots are out of hand. There are more dead than enough on the news. We have reached currently in Libya almost 1,000.
Okay, we've lost the line there. That was Rama, a Libyan activist, joining us there on the line from Tripoli, telling us about the clashes in the Libyan capital. Now, in another development, a Libyan tribal leader has threatened to block oil exports if the government doesn't, quote, stop the repression of the protesters.
From the south to the north, east and west, all tribes are united. We're not pressuring any tribe or any person. We see that the priority is to put an end to the bloodshed. We ask this of Muammar al-Gaddafi, Europe and the United States. Otherwise, we will be forced to stop oil production tomorrow.
And events in Libya are pushing oil prices higher. In New York, crude for March delivery is up by around $1.70 a barrel. Now, turning to protests elsewhere in the region, anti-government demonstrators in Bahrain are waking up in their camp in the capital, Manama. Hundreds of people spent the night in the Pearl Roundabout after the government ordered the military to withdraw from the area. James Bays reports on what is next for the protesters.
They are determined to make this a permanent place of protest. A day after the army and police withdrew, the area around Pearl Roundabout has become a tented city with free food, water and electricity. The protesters are pitching camp and they say they won't leave until they get what they want.
Zain al-Abidin down, Mubarak down, Al-Khalifa down, down, down.
Can the king make political concessions, or is it too late?
It is too late now. Now people, you can hear them. They want to change all the government. They want a new government. They want to choose by themselves. They want election.
The Bahrain government says it's opening a dialogue with the people.
I am not one of those who would ask you to forget about your interests. So an important part of our future work is to be in touch. As for today, we do not know what form or shape the national dialogue, which we all would agree with, would be. We have to have a consensus on it.
But one opposition politician visiting the roundabout was told very clearly he should not enter into any negotiations. A politician who talks to the royal family, he was told, has the blood of those who died on his hands.
As you see, the changes here are dramatic changes. You cannot expect what will happen. Of course, the initiatives from the youth here will not stop.
There seems to be a disconnect between the opposition politicians and the views of these people. They say they don't want this government at all, and many say they want the king to leave the country. James Bays, AlJazeera, Bahrain.
Well, hundreds of Yemenis have continued demonstrating against the country's president. On the 11th consecutive day of protests in Sana'a, anti-government protesters camped overnight outside Sana'a University. It came as President Ali Abdullah Saleh offered to hold a dialogue between his ruling party and the opposition. Tunisia's government has officially asked Saudi Arabia to extradite deposed President Zine El Abidine Ben Ali. He is accused of crimes surrounding last month's violent crackdown on protesters. And Tunisian television has released pictures of treasures hidden around President Ben Ali's palace. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and diamonds were hidden in secret stashes, including vaults behind a large bookcase. Earlier, thousands of people demonstrated in Tunis, calling for the resignation of Mohamed Ghannouchi's transitional government. Toasting victory in Germany, the champagne's flowing for the opposition as the country's ruling party receives a drubbing in the regional elections there. More on that in just a moment. Plus, protests in the U.S. state of Wisconsin, where workers are working